So it looks like the A24 Crystal Lake updates are really starting to roll in now, and this one in particular is super exciting. But before we get into it, please go ahead and hit the like button on this video and hit the subscribe button. So not too long ago, we got the update that Linda Cardellini would actually be playing Pamela Voorhees in the new Crystal Lake series. And now we're getting a new update via Instagram post from the Crystal Lake showrunner Brad Caleb Kane. So he posted a photo of a draft and it was captioned, "Crystal Lake production offices are live. It's all happening. Machetes for everyone." So, in most cases, this wouldn't really be a big deal. In fact, it would probably be expected whenever a new show is coming out that we'll start to see some Instagram posts like this where production begins on a show and it's pretty normal. But in this case, it's actually pretty exciting because, as you know, the Friday the 13th franchise was caught up in this legal battle for about 16 years between Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham over the rights to the entire franchise. Well, finally, the dispute was settled, and A24 announced that there would be a new series titled Crystal Lake and that it would be streaming on Peacock. Well, things kind of died out for a long time. We didn't get any news whatsoever. And then the only news that we would get was that the showrunner Brad Fuller was backing out of the series completely due to some creative differences. He wanted to take the show one way, and I guess A24 wanted to go a different direction. So that was starting to remind us of all of the development hell that Friday the 13th was once in, and it seemed to be kind of going back in that direction once again. So once Brad Fuller backed out, there was no news for a very long time. And then finally, we started getting these rumors about Linda Cardellini possibly being casted or up for the role of Pamela Voorhees. And then we would eventually get the news that she was casted. And that's where things started to finally pick up a little bit because now we're starting to see some more news coming out of this Crystal Lake franchise. So, following that news of Linda Cardellini, now Brad Caleb Kane saying that the production offices are actually live is a very big deal. And not just that, we're starting to hear some rumors that filming is going to begin around June and then follow through all the way through July or August, roughly. Of course, they want to film during the summer for this series. So I imagine once that filming begins, we're going to start getting a lot more details about the show. Hopefully, some more casting announcements, maybe some location set photos, just something we could kind of sink our teeth into until this show comes out toward hopefully the end of this year. Now, I did hear another strange rumor, and I hope it's not true, but on Critical Overlord's channel, he did mention that there is a rumor, and it is just a rumor at this point, that the title is possibly going to change to Mama's Boy. I hope to God that is not true. I think that title is terrible. I mean, they have to keep Crystal Lake. When you think about the term Crystal Lake, everyone knows that, and it's kind of synonymous with Jason Voorhees. I mean, even people who maybe aren't really big horror fans, if you talk about Camp Crystal Lake, they've already got Jason Voorhees in their mind. So I think the marketing is kind of already built in just by having the name Crystal Lake. So once you change it to something like Mama's Boy or Mama's Special Boy or something like that, it's not gonna have that punch. I don't know if it's gonna work. But I did want to point something out. If we take a look at the Instagram post again, and I want to zoom in on the script that Brad Kane posted, because you'll notice that the working title on this script says Camp Blood, which is used constantly throughout this franchise. So the term or the title Camp Blood could work as well, but I hope they just are keeping that as like a working title and maybe just something for the set, but will eventually go back to Crystal Lake. I just think it just makes the most sense to stay with Crystal Lake. But that said, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Are you excited that we're finally starting to get some news about this series and that hopefully some more will start to come out? And before I let you go, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button again for me.